pings. Udja, Ubin Nefer. Do it for tuning in. Let's see here. Alright. Star Adventures. Alright. Let's see, get this. Okay, I think I fit in here today. Ubin Nefer. Do it for tuning in. Shantris Bonita. Alright, well, welcome to tonight's edition of Ancient African Adorations. This is a special edition because it's not one of the Natirian holy days. Usually, we are coming together for one of the holy days from the calendar put out by the Temple of Amun, one of the traditional Egyptian holy days calendars. However, when I first started this series back in 2020, I actually started shortly before COVID, and then I went to Kemet, and when I was in Kemet is when COVID really hit. And back then, I was just choosing different topics, not necessarily, I didn't really follow this calendar. I had one, but I wasn't using it. I'm just rearranging this microphone stand. And so in 2020, in March, I did a concert called the Breath Concert because coronavirus was the big thing. And I wanted to have a concert that dealt with corona wellness. So I think I had one that was called the Purification Concert. And then I had this one called the Breath Concert. And in the Breath Concert, I had found different teachings about the breath or breathing. And then, like I usually do, put it to music. So that's what's going to be happening tonight. I'm not sure if this YouTube is working or not. I hope so. What does it say? Connectivity is unstable. Try plugging to your router or moving closer to it. Okay. Well, can't do that. And if you want to follow along with the presentation, I have the link here. Ubin Nefer. Play some music. It'll help the algorithm. Okay. I'm just giving the introduction, but you're right. Play some music. It'll help the algorithm. Okay. So I just wanted to give the link. If you want to follow along, it's tachia.com/the-breath-concert-2022. Alright, so this person says I should start with the music. Okay. We'll start with the opening prayers. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Remove obstacles in my success, in my spiritual practice. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Lead souls through the narrow pathways to know the difference between real and unreal. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Mesh between heaven and hell. Days black as night, golden as the day. Equally watchful by night as by day. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. May Anpu make my ties firm, so that I can stand upon them. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. I wash myself in the waters where Anpu washed himself, where he was the officer of embroidery and bandager. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. Oh, Anpu, open the ways. My lips are the lips of Anpu. 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 And the opening prayer from the devotional book. Read the translation. Offering is given to the Supreme Divinity and to Anpu, preparer of the traveler, and Wepwat, opener of the ways, Lord of the sacred land. The spoken offering is 1,000 beef, complete maleness, and 1,000 geese, complete femaleness. This causes the divine to make one true of speech and enlightened being. Hotep di nesu netara, Anpu Wepwat neptajase perkeru kakapet, si neter adi makeru. Hotep di nesu netara, Anpu Wepwat neptajase perkeru kakapet, si neter adi makeru. Hotep di nesu netara, Anpu Wepwat neptajase perkeru kakapet, si neter adi makeru. Hotep di nesu netara, Anpu Wepwat neptajase perkeru kakapet, si neter adi makeru. All right, next we have the chant to the three netters. Verse Nevager, the all-encompassing, all-embracing, all-in-all spirit, who came forth as a cosmic force of Kepra, the creator of the gods and goddesses, which are the cosmic forces, and then came forth as a form of a human as Asar. And this is one of the chants to be offered before reading from the Purdah Maru. Om Nevaja Kepra Saro. 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 harper, and this is this wonderful instrument, the Ghanaian harp, the Sepriwa, which was handmade by Louis Afrifa in Ghana. And you can find Louis Afrifa on YouTube and Facebook. Okay. Moving along. Thank you for all the likes and helping other people find out about this program. Okay, next we have Opening Prayer A from the Book of Coming Forth by Jay. Read the translation. Adorations to Ra when he rises in horizon eastern. Homage to Ra coming forth as Khepra. Khepra, creator of the gods and goddesses. Rising thee, shining thee, lighting up thy mother. Rising as Lord, king of the gods and goddesses. Your mother Nut does an act of worship to you with both arms. Manu, the western horizon, receives thee in peace. And Ma'at embraces thee at the double season perennially. That is one of my favorite tunes. That's an adaptation of the melody taught to us by Say by Ma, Dr. Mwada Ashby, and also Uabratem. And then that's just like a variation. Thank you so much for sending the roses and the hearts. It's really nice to see. Having some tea. This is dandelion green tea. And it's so funny because what is this, April 10th? And I thought that by now I would be picking dandelions. You know, I normally pick dandelions for tea. And it snowed the other day. I don't think the dandelions are coming out in April. I don't think they're gonna make it this month. Okay, so now that was in honor of Ra. It's not the sunrise, but Ra, because like I said at the beginning, when I first did this breath concert, it was for the coronavirus, for corona wellness, excuse me. So that's for the Ra in the corona, Ra. And the term Nini is an act of worship shown by the Nini energy flowing through the hands of the god or goddess during purification rituals or in adorations or making art. Like right now, this is how we say greetings or Hotep or Dua, but there's actually energy coming out of my hands. And they actually say that the left hand receives energy or collects energy and the right hand sends energy. But anyway, this is about the Nini energy. And let's see anything going on over here. And this chant came to me when I was in Kemet in 2020, because there was a place where there was an image of Sekhmet and Net, you know, like facing each other. And then there was a royal personality between them, and they both had their hands up like this. And they had little, like, ankhs or little symbols for energy, like the, you know, like the symbol for Aquarius, waves. And they were, like, sending energy to the person. And so this chant came to me. And it just means adorations to Sekhmet, adorations to Goddess Net. Om Indej Hanam Nini. Hadej is the word for protection, and Nini is the energy. And so all of these offerings today have to do with the breath, believe it or not, or the energy that's contained in the breath. Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net. Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Om Indej Nanini, Om Indej Nanini, Om Indej Nanini, Om Indej Nanini, Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net. Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Om Indej Nanini, Om Indej Nanini, Om Indej Nanini, Om Indej Nanini, Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net. Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Om Indej Nanini, Om Indej Nanini, Om Indej Nanini, Om Indej Nanini, Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net. Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Om Indej Nanini, Om Indej Nanini, Om Indej Nanini, Om Indej Nanini, Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net. Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net, Dua Sekhmet, Dua Net. Woo, never. For a moment, I felt like I was in Kemet in the temple. This was at the temple of Asar in Abydos, in Abdu, that I saw the images, the hieroglyphs, and the iconography. And if you want to follow along, I'm at tachia.com /the-breath-concert-2022. And I have the I don't have the translations, but I have the words that I'm chanting. Alright, next we're going to have the offering for Asar. I don't knew I forgot something. I need the translation. Okay, be right back. I think it's in the book of Reading. Yeah, I think I had it. I just panicked. I know it's in this one. I don't know if it's in that one. Okay, so I'm reading the translation from the Emperoar-Ress compiled by Dr. Morna Ashby. And there's certain chants you're supposed to offer before reading from the Emperoar-Ress. I did the Jewelry Cast. Thank you. Oh, thank you for the hearts and the roses. Ooh. Okay, the translation is Adorations to Asar, Unifer, Divinity Great, Personality in the Heart of Abdu, the city of God, King of Eternity, Lord of Forever, Traveling for Eternities, in form raised he, Son primary, body of Nut, engendered by Geb, Master Lord of the Yeret crown, exalted white crown, Prince of gods and goddesses and people. And remember, when we're reading about Asar in particular, or all the nectars, but especially Asar, because Asar is the soul. So we're reading about us. We're studying our journey. Because Asar is the universal soul. And this Hekau is, I learned from Sebai Ma, but his version, his version has only the first verse, and this version has all 3 verses. You can't see the drum. Not like this. And I used to play it like this. You just can't see it. There we go. To Asar, Unifer, Netra, Hair of Abdu, Sutin, Hey. Baby, hey, to Asar, Unifer, Netra, to Asar, Unifer, Netra, to Asar, Imha'ef, Sa'adep, Inkat, Nut, Utet, and Yeb. Our paths nib. To Asar, Unifer, Netra. To Asar, Unifer, Netra. To Asar, Uraretai, Hediti, Neteruim Tek. Glory to Asar. That's second verse of the ending we learned from Uabratam also. Uabratam. Alright, so now we're going to move into the wisdom teachings. And I didn't find a whole lot on the breath when I looked, online, like I usually do, Wikipedia or other websites, because actually the teachings that I've chosen from the breath on the breath, a lot of them come from the Book of Breathings, which was written by Jehuti or Thoth, Hermes. So most of the teachings presented this evening are actually from the Book of Breathings. Sounds like my neighbor's having a party. Right, so we have the Tree of Life, page 249. And this book is, of course, by Say by Ma. 249. Alright, so God created the universe by thought, movement, breath, and causing vibrations in that primordial ocean of his own consciousness by uttering sound. Sound is the medium by which God ordains what happens in creation from its inception to its end. The word manifests through the power and faculty of speech. Therefore, speech is related to cosmic consciousness and the ability to create in the world of time and space, as well as in the astral realm. In the same manner, a human being can create his or her world according to the desire of the heart. And we're taught that everything that we need is contained in the breath. Thus, just as a human being must breathe air in order to sustain life, this entire universe must receive the breath of life from the divine in order to be sustained. However, ordinary human beings, that is, ignorant masses, only know of the physical air that sustains the physical body. A spiritual aspirant seeks to breathe the air which sustains the elevated states of consciousness, which are above the waking state of consciousness. Do a Say by Ma. Then, from the Asarian Resurrection, we have page 106 and 108, verses 62 and 6 through 67. Let's see if we can get this. 106. Okay. So in this reading, this is taken from, there goes the scroll. Sometimes the cursor just goes nuts. I don't know why it does it. Doesn't do it all the time. Okay. This reading is taken from the time when Ht-hru is asking his mother, Goddess Ascent, some questions about life on Earth. And opening. Okay. Verse 62. Such was all-knowing Jehuti, who saw all things, and seeing understood, and understanding had the power both to disclose and to give explanation. For what he knew, he engraved on stone. Yet though he engraved them onto stone, he hid them mostly, keeping sure silence, though in speech, that every younger age of cosmic time might seek for them, and thus, with charge unto his kinsmen of the gods, to keep sure watch, he mounted to the stars. So this is describing Jehuti, who wrote the Book of Breathings. And the next part. Let's see if this works. Yeah, this is working. Thanks for tuning in. I'm reading a selection from the African Religion Volume 4, Asarian Theology by Dr. Mwada Ashby. And this is a concert about the breath. And so, but the cursor is acting really weird. Alright, we might have to leave it alone. It hasn't acted this way in a long time. go. It's going to work now, right? Okay. There we go. No, it's not cooperating. I just wish I knew what causes it to do this. Alright, well, it's not cooperating, so we're just going to have to move on. Let's see if it'll work on this other book. Nope, it's not working. Okay. Alright, fine. Now it won't even stop. Alright, we'll just have to move on. Okay. Yeah, sorry, no reading from that book today. Alright, we'll just go on to the speech of Goddess Ascent. Wait. Ascent is the goddess that has power to bring people back to life, and divine intuition is what makes the way for our redemption and victory of the soul. Ascent is the goddess of wisdom, divine intuition. She made the transformation from a human to a goddess, and she left instructions for people who want to go through the same process. And so here is a translation of the speech of the goddess Ascent. These words are spoken by goddess Ascent. I come to you in a role as your protector. I blow from me to you the liberating and rejuvenating air from the north with fullness of consciousness which cleanses your nose. To the nostrils for your body, this air comes in the form of the god Temu, who is in the north, which is the spirit essence of Ra, the source and sustenance of all life, and the successful completion of the spiritual journey. I have collected the pieces of your throat for you so that you can breathe and live. I pieced your throat back together and cleared obstructions to the air from Temu that conveys the vital life force. So now you have the capacity to experience unobstructed vitality. Now you do not have internal obstructions to existing as a conscious living being. I have given to you the capacity to exist in the form of a god, and in your presence I present to you your enemies, which have fallen under your feet. So now you do not have external obstructions to existing in your divine form. By doing these things, I, the goddess of intuitional wisdom, the embodiment of wisdom, have caused for you to have a divine state in heaven, over which you have power and dominion, and all the gods and goddesses behold you. Medujayat ast Hayunim Sake Nake Nafu Ifeke Nekitu Inshere Afuke Parjim Temu Zekinayinke Haiti Afuke Eddie and Aum NKM the tear Gifty you can care Care to be K Say Makeru KM Muse Unenake nafu, Irfeke mekitu, Inshure afuke, Artim temu, Zekena yuke, Haiti afuke, Eddie and I own, MK in the chair, give to you care, care to be K, say makeru, K mutse tu, maneteru. Meruche and As, I am insake, Hunenake nafu, Irfeke mekitu, Inshure afuke, Partin temu, Zekina inke, Haiti afuke, Eddie and I own, NK in the tear, give to you care, care to be K, say makeru, K mutse tu, maneteru. Maneteru, maneteru. All right. Okay, cool. All right, so there was a term in that Heka, or that chant, Nafu, and that's going to be coming up quite a bit because that's the word for to breathe. It means freedom, it means to breathe, and the hieroglyph for breathe is the sail on a boat, a sail. And so it's kind of like a play on words. You know, the symbol for breathing is a sail, and the sail needs the air to go, and breathing is how, you know, how we go. We're just able to sustain our life, or our life is sustained. So that's Nafu. And then next I'm going to offer the 4 great truths of Ht-hru Nectar. I'm going to read the translations from this book again. So these truths kind of summarize the spiritual practice, tradition, or philosophy of Ht-hru Nectar. Ht-hru means hidden. Nectar means divinity. And we all have a hidden divinity. And these teachings can bring it out, or bring it to you, so that it's no longer hidden from you. You can hide it from others, but you can't hide from yourself. Well, you shouldn't hide from yourself. That's not a good idea. It's not going to work anyway. So here's the translation of the 4 great truths. And this will also have an explanation for the term Nafu. The first one is, the nectar of the Supreme Being is one and alone, and is never manifesting everywhere and in all things in the form of gods and goddesses. Never means all-encompassing divinity, all-inclusive, all-embracing spirit, which pervades all and is the ultimate essence of all. This first truth unifies all expressions of Kemetan religion. The second one, lack of righteousness brings fetters to the personality, and these fetters lead to ignorance of the divine. When a human being acts in ways that contradict the natural order of nature, negative qualities of the mind will develop within that person's personality. These are the afflictions of Set. Set is the Netzeru of egoism and selfishness. The afflictions of Set include anger, hatred, greed, lust, jealousy, envy, gluttony, dishonesty, hypocrisy, etc. So to be free from the fetters of Set, one must be free from the afflictions of Set. Number 3, devotion to the divine leads to freedom from the fetters of Set. To be liberated, nafu, freedom, to breathe, from the afflictions of Set, one must be devoted to the divine. Being devoted to the divine means living by Ma'at. Ma'at is a way of life that is purifying to the heart and beneficial for society as it promotes virtue and order. Living by Ma'at means practicing Sheti spiritual practices and disciplines. Uashu means devotion, and the classic pose of adoring the divine is called Dua. That's when we do this. Standing or sitting with upraised hands facing outwards towards the image of the divinity. And finally, number 4, the practice of the Sheti disciplines leads to knowing oneself as a divine. This is called being true of speech. Doing Sheti means to study profoundly, to penetrate the mysteries, Shetaut, and discover the nature of the divine. There have been several practices designed by the sages of ancient Kemet to facilitate this process of self-knowledge. These are the religious Shetaut traditions and the Sema, Smai Taoui yogic disciplines related to them that augment the spiritual practices. All the traditions relate the teachings of the teachings of the sages by means of myths related to particular gods or goddesses. It is understood that all of these Netzeru are related like brothers and sisters, having all emanated from the same source, the same supremely divine parent who is neither male nor female, but encompasses the totality of the two. Hotep. So I have the lyrics there on the webpage, tachia.com/the-breath-concert-2022. And you could do it like call and response, or you could sing along with me. And when we get to, recite it 4 times, and we get to the end, there's going to be a focus on the third one, Say Washu, Say Nafu, and Sayu Set, because it has the term for breath. And that's tonight's concert is called the Breath Concert, because I'm presenting teachings that pertain to the breath. And the first time I did this particular concert was in 2020, right after Corona hit, and so this was part of my solution was Corona wellness, and so this was the spiritual way to cleanse the breath, the lungs, the nose, the nostrils. On the turtle, oh, I never shed him, that tattoo. On my odds, we saw you said, say, come in. Say, washu, say, nafu, inside you said. Adisheri rekabe makeru. On the turdu, oh, I never shed him, neteru. On my odds, we saw you said, say, come in. Say, washu, say, nafu, inside you said. Adisheri rekabe makeru. On the turdu, oh, I never shed him, neteru. On my odds, we saw you said, say, come in. Say, washu, say, nafu, inside you said. Adisheri rekabe makeru. On the turdu, oh, I never shed him, neteru. On my odds, we saw you said, say, come in. Say, washu, say, nafu, inside you said. Adisheri rekabe makeru. Say, washu, say, nafu, inside you said. Say, washu, say, nafu, inside inside you said. Say washu, say nafu, 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 inside you said. Say washu, say nashu, inside you said. Say nafu, say washu, inside you said. Say washu, say nafu, 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 inside you said. Devotion to the divine leads to freedom from the fetters of Set. And the term nafu is symbolized by a sail on a sailboat, and it means freedom and it means to breathe. Because if you can't breathe, well, we're not going to go there. Not right now. Devotion to the divine leads to freedom from the fetters of Set. And what are the fetters of Set? The fetters of Set are traits of egoism, like ignorance, unrighteousness, impatience, gluttony, dishonesty, anger, frustration, jealousy, shyness, insecurity, lack of confidence, anything that lowers your vibration is a fetter of Set. And fetters of Set are symbolized as bandages over the mouth, and the mouth is the symbol for consciousness. It's all connected. Okay, and then I also have a note here, the term say nafu, which is freedom to breathe. And then we have in English, I don't know where it comes from, that term snafu. It's like a mistake. Snafu, say nafu. I don't know. I'm always finding little connections like that. I know they say you shouldn't, but they're right there in front of me. How can I not notice them? Okay. Next we have a chant that I learned from Sebaja at Kemet University. You can learn more about them, or you can sign up for classes at EgyptianYoga.com. She's teaching a class on a breathing technique that Dr. Ashby, Sebai Ma, found at Luxor, the temple at Karnak in Luxor. And it's called the Joy Bliss breathing technique. And you're breathing in your divinity. And let's see, how can I? Okay, so just to digress, the practice involves a royal personality. Whenever you see in the hieroglyphs like a pharaoh or a pharaoh, the pharaoh is representing a royal personality. It's not just royalty, it's a person on the road to enlightenment. And with this practice, you offer up the things that you like and the things that you don't like to Amun, because we're not supposed to be attached. We're not supposed to have attachments. And so if there's something that you don't like, instead of dwelling on what you don't like about it and going in a downward spiral, you offer it to the divine. And if it's something that you really like, instead of getting like all delusional and just like hyperactive and crazy, or addictive or obsessive, you offer that up to the divine. And so here's a little definition of the technique. Joy, bliss, breathing the divinity. It is a blissful experience to breathe in divinity through the nostrils and experience the ecstasy of switching the awareness of ego personality to the fullness of my divine nature instead. So it's a technique for when you catch yourself, when you catch your egoism is trying to steer the boat, you can just switch your awareness instantly to your royal personality. And you make offerings to the Amun to let go of your attachments. At the remembrance of Amun, located in the Temple of Amun at Luxor in the Holy of Holies, this was discovered or remembered by Seba Ma on one of his visits there. And when you do this meditation technique, you're instructed to burn myrrh or have myrrh oil present. So the chant is Res Ht-hru, and it's joy, bliss, breathing the divinity. Res Ht-hru, 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 Res Well, that's a wake-up call for me. I haven't done that one in many moons. I need to get back into that one. There's so many practices and tools available to us to help us keep our vibrations high, keep our hearts pure, our aura cleansed, our consciousness open, our ego sublimated, our intuition awakened, aligned with Ma'at. All the cosmic forces have a purpose, not a purpose, it's a force of nature. And when we keep up with the divinities, then we keep up with these forces, and that's what keeps our life flowing very well-being. All right, another term dealing with the breath is shu. Shu is the inner space. I think I had a little melody, yeah. Shu is the inner space. Discover the connection between heaven and earth. Human interaction cannot take place without space and air. Shu is the inner space, yes, and it's also the force that raised up Nut from Geb. It's what come between heaven and earth. So it's the inner space, and it's also the atmosphere. The inner space and the outer space, actually. And let's see, Atum-Ra, it sounds like atom, created Shu and Tefnut, air and moisture. Atum-Ra sneezed Shu into existence and spat out mucus, which spit out Tefnut and spit out moisture into existence. So I had a joke here, since it was Corona Wellness. I had here, the common cold played a significant role in this creation myth. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Page 128. So here is the Persian Volume 3, the Book of Breathings. Well, it's chapters from the Book of Breathings. Mystic chapters of Cosmic Mind. Chapters from the Book of Breathings. Chapters of the Mystic Path of Meditation for Discovering Absolute Being. And this is using the trilinear deciphering method of Sevai Ma, where it has the hieroglyph, and then like the phonetic pronunciation, then the actual translation, and then the interpreted translation. It's not really interpreted, it's more like the path, because the third line is just a bunch of words, and it's not always in the same order that we use and the way we speak today. I really benefit from studying this way. Page 128. That's not one of the ones Oh, okay. Alright, here is a reading on Shu. Space between gross and subtler aspects of creation in time and space. The air, the ethereal light from Ra, the solar creator spirit. The lion power is the male aspect. Tefnut is the female lion power. Breath is the nexus between what is physical and subtle. If breath were to be concentrated on, allowing the mind to become as subtle as air, and allowing the light of Ra consciousness in air to accumulate in the metu, or subtle channels of the ethereal body, it is possible to dissolve the illusory structure holding a separation, duality, between earth and heaven, body and soul, soul and spirit, etc., thereby reversing the seeming duality, upholding the appearance of physical existence separate from other forms of physical existence. In other words, separate objects appear to be independently existing items, separate from each other and separate from oneself, and the separation between soul and spirit caused by the ego. Alright, so now we're going to go to page 125 of this book of readings. And this is from the teaching number 11. Follower of Jehuti brings sweet wind to the nostrils. Shu, it's a tongue twister. Shu shines, cleansing, enlightening light, and purifies the body. And this is from the Hymn to Asar Papyrus, Hunefer. So I'm going to read the translation and then offer the musical rendition of the teachings. And it's really interesting how I came to do this concert tonight, because when I did it in 2020, I must have accidentally set up another one for 2022, and I said, oh well, that's odd, I'll do another one in 2022. So here we are. So here's the but this song that's coming next is the one that I remember from 2 years ago. Like the other ones, I'd have to go back through and listen to the recording, because they were born on the spot, you know. And this one, for some reason, it stuck with me this whole time, and I was really looking forward to this. So So here's the translation. It is I who am in the following of the god Jehuti, and therefore I am guided by the principle that he represents, intellect born of cosmic mind. I extend praises, exaltations, and my adorations for what is occurring through the deed of Lord Jehuti, of his bringing to me airs, atmosphere, that are sweet-smelling to the nose. This sweet-smelling air is life flowing from your personality, O Jehuti, and it is beautiful nasal perception in life that flows from knowing the wisdom of truth, immortality, and existence. It is northern, life-giving air coming out from within the god Temu, the cosmic force of creation and completion, accomplishment and conclusion of the function of your nostrils, which breathe the air of pure subtlety and luminous spirit consciousness. You are Lord of the exalted land, Kemet. He allows there to be illumination that comes from Shu, the ethereal light that emanates from Ra, the spirit, to make the skin, the casing of the personality, to light up for you, like Heru. And by his illuminating for you the spiritual path by means of the solar rays with which he destroys for you the unrighteousness that was in the limbs of the body, which are the organs of action. This cleansing illumination by means of fullness with the spirit will, luminosity through the breathing process, spirit will, creative words, luminous ethereal light, was accomplished through breathing the ethereal light of Shu, that is now governor of his mouth. Remember, mouth is the symbol for consciousness, and thus controls creative words, allowing unobstructed expansion in consciousness. So that is what this teaching is going to do for us, those of us on this broadcast and watching the replay, and anyone we share it with. And it doesn't stop just when this program is over, because all of my presentations have the intention that even after you're done singing, it keeps going through the universe, keeps reverberating, keeps resonating, keeps vibrating, keeps activating, it keeps flowing. So it's got a lot of power packed into it. Here's images of Shu holding up Nut, separating the sky from the earth. Oops. Okay. Right. So you can get them all on one page. So again, this is the book of breathings. Breathings number 11, page 125 from the Book of Breathings, volume 3, Perdimaru, by Dr. Wanda Ashby. Get it all on one page. Oops. Ayum Shepshi and Jehuti Haku Amarit in Abner Anaf in the Kinafu Nejim F and Kaon was Harriet in the fair Met to Perdim Temu a charity Ganet Tajas a Dayu Efu Ben and Shu Say Hotep can one, Saint Keter and K. Do to Ari how K, and Shua Hotep Ayum Shepsi and Jehuti. Haiku Amarit and Epner. Anat Ifkain Afu. Nejim in Fekayon. Was in her Kenya fair. Metu Pert in Temu. Her charity Kenya. Jose Dayu Efuben and Shu Hershit Bed K Say Hijab K and what Saint Keter and K Do to Ari how K Am Shua Kutebra Ayum Shepshi and Jehuti Haiku Amarit and Epner Anan F and K Nafu Nejim F and K on Wasam and K no K Metu Part Im Temu The Charity K Tajas A Dayu F Uben and Shu Hershin Petet K Say Hejef in K what Saint Keter and K Do to Ari how K Yeshua Kutebra. Never Hotep. Never. Okay, I'm going to read the, I don't know if you have dogs, but sometimes when they're sleeping, they start running in their sleep. And so that's what that noise is. She's running in her sleep. Okay, so I'm going to read the literal translation so you can see the difference. It is I in following of Jehuti. Praises it is me indeed of his Lord, bringing of he to the airs, sweet of nose, thine life flow of person thee good, beautiful. Northern air, wind coming out within completion. As to the nostrils, thine Lord, land exalted, gives he illumination of ethereal light. Person, skin thine, causing light up he, for the path raised, destroy he, for the unrighteousness. As to body parts, thine, through ethereal light, captain mouth his creative words. So, but anyway, these are blessings and prayers and teachings for the breath. This is the breath concert. And in this tradition, Ht-hru Neter, it's not just the physical breath that we inhale, it's the spiritual breath. It's what's contained in the breath. That's what really sustains us. It's not just, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, they have the breakdown of the elements in the air. However, they don't have a breakdown of the spirituality contained in the air. And so these teachings are supposed to help us get all the benefits of breathing, not just the physical benefits. Okay, and then so Book of Breathings number 5, 7, and 8. I'm going to try to combine them. Okay, so page 153. I'm going to read the translations first. 153. Hopefully, I guess after this I'm going to have to... Okay. All right. Hopefully this won't take too long. Page 153. Okay, so page 153. Teaching number 5. Amun beholds you and gives air. Amun, the divinity of witnessing consciousness, turns attention to your personality and gives to it air. The God fashioner of physical creation, he molds your personality, works your body parts into golden perfection. Number 7, Amun provides breaths of life even while being dead in a coffin. The God of witnessing consciousness possesses odorous air of life essence. Amun gives you the capacity to breathe even as you are in your coffin, lying there as a dead person. Now remember, in some teachings, when we're living on earth is when we're actually dead. So this is referring to us being able to breathe while we're in our coffin, our body, while we're in this crazy illusion, being able to remain conscious. And then number 8, doing the breathings of this book of breathings daily is a protective talisman. About this book of breathings, written by Lord Jehuti, the God who mystically represents the cosmic mind, the all-expansive capacity of divine thought that encompasses creation, is aware of and directs all creation. It is a talisman for thee that safeguards you and your breathing as you breathe through it every day. Wow. I remember the first time I read that, I was like, oh, I have to read this book every day. So I have these chants now. We just have to chant every day. Let's try with this harp. I haven't played it today. Try to get this one. A little different. There we go. That's better. Amun Rayam K Herdi and K Nafu Pataher Nubao How K Amun Rama K Herdi and K Nafu Pataher Nubao How K Amun Sti Nafu and all DFREK Zenzenuen Debuke Amun stina fu enong die parike senzenu em de bouquet Shai tin zenzenu in Jehuti Im sao ke zenzenu ke Im esrane Shai tin zenu in Jehuti Im sao ke zenzenu ke Im sarane Let's just take a moment to do some breathing. Just a few deep inhalations, allowing the abdominal area to expand. All the way through the chest, up to the first eye, crown of the head. Hold it for a moment. And exhale, allowing the abdominal area to collapse, almost touching the spine. Another deep inhalation. Hold it for a moment. And exhale. And one more. And exhale. Yeah, the book of breathings. We got to do a little breath work. Almost to the end. All right. So another term dealing with breathing and the lungs is the term sema. And sema, the hieroglyph, is represented by the union of two lungs and the trachea. So it looks like this and then like that. Yeah. I've been working on doing the hieroglyphs for my Raseki. So here's hieroglyph for the lungs and the trachea, which symbolizes the union of the higher self and the lower self leading to the one. And page 36. Probably going to have a symbol, the image. Yeah. Oh, it's on page 37. Page 37. So here's some symbols of sema, which is the union of the two lungs, the two lands, the higher and lower self, the union of the ego and the royal personality. So the word sema means yoga. So that is the word for yoga, is sema. If people think of yoga, they think of India. But we have it here in Kemet long before it was in India. So sema is the word for yoga. It's the word for unity. Smai Tawi is the unification of upper and lower Kemet, upper and lower Egypt. And we have some I already showed you the symbols. The theme of the arrangement of the symbols above is based on the idea that in mythological and philosophic forms, Egyptian mythology and philosophy merge with world mythology, philosophy, and religion. The hieroglyphic symbols at the very top of the page, know thyself, self-knowledge is the basis of all true knowledge, and abbreviated forms of Smai Tawi, signifying Egyptian yoga, etc., etc., etc. Oh, here we go. Ht-hru and Set is another symbol of Sema. Ht-hru and Set joined forces to tie up the symbol of union, Sema. The Sema symbol refers to the union of Upper and Egypt, the lotus, and Lower Egypt, the papyrus, under one ruler, but also at a more subtle level it refers to the union of one's higher self and lower self, Ht-hru and Set, as well as the control of one's breath, the life force, through the union, the control of the lungs, the breathing organs. The character of Ht-hru and Set are an integral part of the Pert Imheru. Okay. So Sema is an important word in this tradition. And then we have the Tefna Teru Sema Pout, the Egyptian yoga posture system, where you can find the different poses and breathing techniques and meditation techniques inscribed in the temples and on the papyri and coffin texts, etc. And when I was taking the Level 2 certification training in March 2020, Dr. Ashby shared with us that the word conspiracy comes from conspire, which means to breathe together. And it was the French that changed the meaning of the word conspiracy in the 1400s. So the word conspiracy, which in today means something like, oh, or suspicious or alternative or, you know, against the flow, against the mainstream, and most people don't take it serious or believe it, it actually means to breathe together. So then the term breathe together is Sema Nafu, right? Sema, unity, yoga, Nafu, breath. So Sema Nafu means conspiracy. And then Uwashu, which is the term for devotion, right? Actually, if you break it into two parts, Uwa is one and Shu is breath. So it means one breath or rhythmic breathing leading to the discovery of Nebuchadnezzar. So those are some words that I put together for another little chant. Because we already had it. This is leading up to something. Oh, here it is. Sema Nafu Uwashu, 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 Sema Nafu Uwashu. So conspiracy, Sema Nafu, means to breathe together as one. Breathing represents not just the physical breathing, but the spiritual, everything that's contained in the breath, everything that we receive in the breath. We receive instructions from the divine in our breath. We receive all the nutrients that we need in the breath for our spiritual essence. I'm not talking about physical, I'm talking about the spiritual. And the word conspiracy means to breathe together. So, and then Uwashu is devotion, but it also means one breath. Okay. Then I have another chant. Well, it's not I have another chant. There's another chant for the flow. Let's see, what's the translation here? Because remember, like the speech of Ascent, she talked about not having any obstructions to our breathing or just to our life in general. So we want to open the way for the flow. So here's the translation, again from this wonderful prayer book. So the chant is Hotep di Seneta Iri Metu Waj, and Metu has to do with the flow. An offering is made to propitiate that God may make the vascular system flourish. This is an invocation of health. So I have a little melody that I have. I had the translation here. Okay. Hotep di Seneta Iri Metu Waj, Hotep di Seneta Iri Metu Waj, Hotep di Seneta Iri Metu Waj. Hotep di Seneta Iri Metu Waj, Hotep di Seneta Iri Metu Waj, Hotep di Seneta Iri Metu Waj. Hotep di Seneta Iri Metu Waj, Hotep di Seneta Iri Metu Waj, Hotep di Seneta Iri Metu Waj. Hotep di Seneta Iri Metu Waj, Hotep di Seneta Iri Metu Waj, Hotep di Seneta Iri Metu Waj. So we actually recite that chant before we're going to eat our meal, because we want to have all the good vibes in whatever it is we're going to eat or consume or breathe. We want to have only the best vibrations coming into our self. And then we have another very popular chant from the Temple of Ht-hru, Temple of Ascent. This one is for the goddess Ma'at. And I just finished recording this. It's going to be on my next CD. Oh, I should read the translation. So this is one we learned from Say by Ma for the goddess Ma'at. And And okay, so the first line, Ma'at Anku Ma'at, Ma'at is the source of life. Ma'at Nebuten, Ma'at is in everywhere you are. Ka Hina Ma'at, rise with Ma'at. Ankh Hina Ma'at, live with Ma'at. Hasi Ma'at, Ma'at, join with Ma'at. Let every limb join with Ma'at. Let her guide your actions. Dua Ma'at Nebuten, adorations to Goddess Ma'at, who is in everywhere you are. And then, like I did with the first song, I'm going to have a little focus on the Ha-Sima Ma'at, which is join with Ma'at, because we're talking about Sima, the unity. And then after this, we're going to bring all those sections together. And yes, this is the same melody as the Duo-Rakeft. That Duo-Rakeft song has three. It's Duo-Rakeft, Ma'at Anku Ma'at, and Light as a Feather. They're going to be all together in one. Ma'at Anku Ma'at, Ma'at Nebuten, Kahina Ma'at, Ankina Ma'at, Hasima Ma'at, Dua Ma'at Nebuten. Ma'at Anku Ma'at, Ma'at Nebuten, Kahina Ma'at, Ankina Ma'at, Hasima Ma'at, Dua Ma'at Nebuten. mat nebuten kahina mat ankina mat hasima mat dua mat nebuten Ma'at. Join with Ma'at. Alright, so to close out this program, we're going to close it out with the Conspiracy Chant, which combines the lines from 3 other offerings dealing with the breath and oneness and unity. Say washu, say nafu, inside you said. 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 Sima nafu, washu. Sima nafu, washu. Sima nafu, washu. Sima nafu, washu. Hasima mat, hasima mat, hasima mat, hasima mat, hasima mat. Hasima mat. Say washu, say nafu, inside you said. 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 Sima nafu, washu. Sima nafu, washu. Sima nafu, washu. Sima nafu, washu. Hasima mat, hasima mat, hasima mat, hasima Nefer. Can't believe I waited 2 years to sing that song again. I gotta sing it more often. Yes, powerful medicine for the breath, for the physical breath and the spiritual breath. I know I said that was the closing song, but I actually have a closing song for the programs that I haven't been doing. So, here we go. This is another one that came to me while I was in Kemet. We were walking. Oh no, we were in a little rental car. Well, it was what was it? Yeah, I guess it was a taxi. Yeah, because one time I rode a carriage. And we were driving past a street called Nefertiti. And I said, Nefertiti, Nefer is beautiful. What is Titi? And Titi, he told me, means is coming. Nefertiti means beauty is coming. So this chant is Om Hotep Titi. Hotep is supreme peace. The end of duality is coming. So the peace we're seeking is coming. Let's see. Oh wait. How does it go? Uh-oh, drawing a blank. Oh, there it is. Well, Dua, so much for tuning in and staying till the end. Your presence is a gift to me, and I really enjoy doing these concerts, and I really appreciate you being here. If you'd like to learn more about these wisdom teachings, visit EgyptianYoga.com. And if you'd like to learn more about my music, go to Tachia.com. And music is available on many music platforms, including Spotify, YouTube. Everywhere CD Baby goes, you can find this music. I'm working on a new CD right now. I'm so excited about it. If you'd like to order your own calendar, go to Temple of Amun and get your calendar there, which has the Nigerian holy days. It has the moons, lunar calendar, and the solstices and equinoxes. And I've also been following the Sirius sidereal calendar. And get it without knocking over everything. Put out by the Earth Center. We're in the month of Kepra, according to this system. And this one has the traditional 3 strengths of 10 days long. I don't call them weeks, I call them strengths. Plus the last month for Nut is only 5 days. And this coincides with the Mayan calendar or Mayan count and the Natarian calendar. And most indigenous calendars have 12 months and then a 13th month, which is only 5 to 7 days long. It's only the Western calendars that don't incorporate the precession of the equinox. They call it a leap year, and their calendar is not working. In the Natarian calendar, this is the year 38,788. And then in July, when the Sirius rises, it'll be 38,789. And in the Sirius calendar from Mali, it is the year 421. But that's 421 years since the last great heliacal rising. So we know they've been keeping that calendar for a very long time. I don't know when the last one was. I need to find out when was year 420 or the year 0. When was the last Sirius star great heliacal rising? It says here that this year of 365 days is the first quarter of the Renpet, the real year, which is 1,461 days, shown in the chart below. I'm really into calendars, obviously. Since I've been doing this with the ancient African adorations in alignment with the Natarian holy days, plus the Earth Center calendar, my life is experiencing or expressing an order that I have been seeking for over 35 years, since I first came onto this path of consciousness. So I'm really overjoyed. I'm tickled at how well things are flowing since I've been following these 2 calendars. And let's see what's next. The next presentation from Asmatisi Temple of Divine Light Healing and Sweet Sounds is the full moon. This is the pink moon. And we have the, what do I have here? The sun is in Pisces. So the moon will be in, what's that, Virgo? It's opposite of Pisces? Yeah. Yeah, sun, Pisces, moon, Virgo. Okay. So that'll be at, the moon will be full at 1:55, so we'll probably start at around 1:30. Then the third quarter will be April 23rd at 6:56 a.m. That will be in honor of global grieving. We'll be celebrating the Pluto transit, which represents the dismantling of all these wicked corporations and institutions. They're just like crumbling right before our eyes. So we'll be like, it'll be a time to like release how you feel about letting go of attachments. Like if you're attached to these systems that are destined to fall apart. And so then we have the new moon. We have 2 new moons in April. And that's how we know that this calendar is off, because if there's 13 moons in a year, then there should be 13 suns. But for some reason, the Western calendar has 12 suns, 13 moons. Gets all excited when you have 2 full moons or 2 new moons in 1 month. But anyway, that will be on April 30th. The new moon's at 3:28 p.m., so we'll start at like 3:15. Then we have May Day. May 1st is the Spiral Dance Medicine Wheel for the middle of May. The next Ancient African Adorations presentation is April 19th, Festivity of Ra and his followers. April 21st, Feast of Goddess Wadjet. I don't have the times on here, but you can consult the calendar I already posted. And then on May 17th will be the next reggae music experience. This will be Mid-Spring Music in May reggae music experience. Alright, so that's what's coming up for the Asmataji Temple of Divine Light Healing and Sweet Sounds and the Light Being Wellness Center. If you enjoy these presentations, you can make a contribution at $Amet El Ma'at on my Cash App. And I have an assistant now to help me edit the clips of these presentations so we can have like 1 to 3 minute segments. And back in December, when my phone was going berserk, I wasn't able to post any of the clips. So she's working on that now, so we can look forward to having, just little mini versions of these wonderful ancient African adorations, musical offerings of the wisdom teachings from Kemet. So dua for being here tonight, and I will see you very soon. I think the next one I said is April 16th. And I will do a purification concert. I did the breath concert, and I'll do a purification concert probably in May. Dua Hotep. Dua.